Alright, greetings fellow viewers. It's me again, Lovo Kuvile. Today I want to speak to you about one thing, both in general, failure, and how we actually perceive failure to be. In most cases, or the way the general public has chosen to define failure is totally in the wrong way. For me, failure is a learning curve. For me, failure is where you know you can do it, okay, and you cannot do it. It's where you actually learn and become greater. Because if you take, for instance, I was watching the rugby match today, and one thing I noticed about the players is that they kept on trying to get to the other side of the field. As many more times as they attempted and failed, they kept on learning. They kept on seeing loopholes where they can possibly take advantage of to actually get to the other side of the field. Now, even in failure, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Whenever you're trying to achieve something, or whenever you're setting yourself a goal and you want to pursue it and achieve it and grab it with both your hands, the only way you can ever get there is when you actually face failure. Don't take it as who you are, as a definition of who you are. Failure is not who you are. Failure is a learning curve. Failure is where you actually get a platform to grow and become become a better person than you actually are. When you actually reach failure, it's actually a stepping mark, or a mark that actually states that actually you're trying. When you do not fail in whatever you do. Take, for instance, anyone that has ever failed. You'll take for most successful people in the world, you'll find that they've actually failed many more times than they have actually achieved. The reason being to that, and when you actually speak to those people, you'll find that they're wiser, they have much more knowledge, they're much more confident, they react differently, they use their time differently. The only way that they've learned how to actually become the people that they are at this current moment, it is because of their previous experiences, their past, their journey, where they come from, how many times they've failed. Because each and every time you fail, it actually even builds your character as a person. Because after you have failed and faced a certain failure, because at some point when you fail to do something, you'll actually have a low self-esteem. You'll actually feel bad about yourself. You'll actually it's like too much, like you cannot do something and be constant on doing it. Now, when you actually know that, okay, I could not do this, and go back to the drawing board and actually try to analyze what was the reason behind me not being able to do what I wanted to do. Once you're able to actually look at failure in that way, you will keep on evolving and growing and becoming better and wiser until you become your ideal self. So the only way to achieve, the only way to become the person you want to be is to actually seek failure. Seek it so hard that, because the things that you know that are impossible, the things that you know that you think that are impossible, is actually the only way to find out the truth about that is actually if you try and do it. And if you believe in what you're doing hard enough, failure will just be a learning curve. Because each and every time you try something, each and every time you fail, you will learn. And the more you learn, there's more knowledge that you're going to gain. The more knowledge you gain, the more you're going to be able to spread or to make other people aware that if you do this way, it won't succeed. More like Einstein. Einstein tried to make the globe many more times, 100 times, but through the process of him failing to actually make the globe, we were learning as the general public how many ways to actually not make a globe. And there's actually one way to make a globe, and that's, I hope you're hearing me, that actually in whatever you're doing, no matter whether you're failing at the current moment, or no matter whether you feel like you're not doing it right at the current moment, just try to find out, just try to look at it, be solution orientated, not problem orientated. Just try to look at Why are you not achieving it at the current moment? Why are you not reaching your goal at the current moment? What is it that you're doing wrong? What is it that actually made you feel this way? What is it that actually made you land on this platform? What is it that actually made you fail in trying to do this? Once you find that, you go back to the drawing board, you strategize, you re-strategize, and you try again. Trust me. Many more times, the more times you try, the more you learn. So I would rather fail many more times and gain knowledge than to actually do it once and achieve it. Because I'll do it once and achieve it and become a success of that thing, and actually with no knowledge gained through making that thing. So enjoy the process of being a successful person, of being that ideal person you want to be, because it's not an easy process, it's not an enjoyable process. You're going to fail, which means you're going to learn. So enjoy the process.